I think like Bobby Brown left New Edition, and nobody else could survive that but him. That's a GOAT move, but is he the GOAT? When people say it's R. Kelly, they use all different types of people to describe like the king, the greatest of all time in R&B. I don't know if it's Bobby Brown. Whitney Houston said it was, and people laughed at her. But sometimes you gotta think, New Edition was one of the best groups of all time, still to this day. And Bobby was like, I'm going off on my own, and he made his way. He made it bigger than New Edition. Is he the GOAT?
So I think we need to have a chat with all the New Editions. Shout out one of the best to ever do it.
I hated to look that up, but that was a bit.
Did Bobby leave?
Bobby was thrown out. And
Okay,
wait, that makes it worse. That makes it worse that you had to go and scratch and survive. And I think he kind of left. It was almost a mutual thing because he wasn't happy and they weren't happy, so they parted ways. Either way, he came back and became more popular than the group. He was actually headlining tours with them going on before him, or sometimes vice versa. He would go longer. It doesn't matter. It was one of the greatest exits other than Michael Jackson, who really, by the way, didn't leave the Jacksons. Still touring with them.
Right.
People sleep on it. He went solo. He had a solo album. Going solo is like, I see y'all later, that Jermaine Jackson, but Jermaine went solo.
Jermaine's hair.
That's the what?
Jermaine's hair went solo.
Nah.
But no, you're right. Mike was getting checked, bro.
Yo, people don't understand that. When I saw it, I was like today years old almost when I found out. I looked at it, I said, he never left his family. They was still going on tours. Yeah, big shout out to Mike.
Yeah. And then I think the last part for me when we talk about greatest is, did you have cultural impact? Like people that never saw you, do they know your name?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. You cannot be in the GOAT debate today with us and not have that criteria. It's a part of it, so I'm not saying scratch it, but everybody we talk about today is going to have some kind of cultural impact on whatever, sport, music, whatever we talk about, they're going to have that.
Because
got to have that.
To me, if like my kids didn't see Jordan, my kids didn't see Ali, but everybody know their names.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So I just brought up MJ. I think we're gonna have to go ahead and start with the
let's go straight, yeah, because that's
like let's not pull it back.
Yeah, this goes for the most popular. Let's start at the top, get it out the way. Michael Jordan,
we gotta get it out the way.
Well, not get it out the way, but we're gonna be on it, and then we can trickle from there. Michael Jordan is in one of the most heated debate conversations ever about the GOAT status.
Yep,
he is called the GOAT, the greatest of all time in basketball and maybe even sports history. But we're going to stick to basketball right now because he does have some competition in that category.
How do you find competition?
Well, when people actually have heated debates, one gentleman was just killed over a debate between the man LeBron James and Michael Jordan. So people are getting to the point where it's so heated where someone's life is taken. You really got to take that into consideration.
Yeah, and so I think it's fair to do this when we talk about GOATs, because we are having debates, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that the people that we say aren't it if we debate. That doesn't mean that they're trash, that they're wrong.
Oh no,
that also means that they are great.
Yeah,
we got there can only be one greatest because it's not the greatest plural of all time, right?
Yeah.
And so I want that to be very, very, very clear up front. When I go with facts tonight, and I'm going to win and I'm going to be right whenever we debate, like some things we're going to agree on and we'll be good. But it doesn't mean that whoever Rudy says is just not good. I mean, they might not be the greatest, like my person or people will be. But hey, so MJ, LeBron, why are we leaving out Kobe?
Well, I'm going to be honest about Cole. And rest in peace, Kobe. He was a great player. But before his untimely demise, he wasn't even brought up in the GOAT debate. He was not even in the top 10 in the league. And you know how we are. Much like Tupac, when someone passes, they are thrusted into this category. Yeah, and so I'm not taking anything away from Kobe, but Kobe is not and was never considered the GOAT till after he passed. So I'm going to keep him out of the GOAT debate. We can talk about it.
You are.
Yeah, I am. But you can bring him in and you can give your points and all your little anecdotal things to make him seem like
facts,
if that's what you want to call it.
Facts.
Be careful with them facts, because there's some facts on a few guys that we're about to talk about that kind of outshine Cole. So just go ahead with it. Be careful.
I just said, are we not going to bring Kobe in the car? I think
No, we can talk
Kobe
about Kobe respectfully. If we're going to bring him on, I'm going to bring some other names too.
Right, because I know,
Okay.
because we're family, right? Like we have real conversations, real cool conversations. I know for not just you, but a lot of people. I would even say for Michael Jordan,